Yes, people, welcome back again. The second show for the day, but this time we will be previewing the match between Brentford and Chelsea Football Club, and we will also try to predict the lineup for the game. I hope you're ready with it. And more importantly, I forgot to say the usual thing: good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Please accept whatever suits your time zone. Again, we're here to preview the game again between Chelsea no, Brentford, who's at home versus Chelsea Football Club. We'll try to predict the lineup and the outcome of the game. I hope you're ready for it. Again, good luck to us because in terms of ground Potter, we don't have too much to work with, but we'll give it our best. We will try to be at our best again. And I'm looking forward to me again. More importantly, Christian Pulisic starting and Conor Gallagher starting. They've both been arrested. Again, they've had a few days off. Two matches where again you think one match where you think they played, they didn't get to play, which means again they've been resting for this particular game, and I hope it turns out to be a stroke of genius by the manager Graham Potter. We'll see what happens. So let's see what we have in the chat already. Liam Lane at this point, it is just him. He says hi again, Kachila. Hi to you too. I hope you're doing well. I've shared in the link with the panelists. Hopefully, they have the time to join the show again to make it easy, so that you can get multiple opinions and not just from me. Again, I'm looking forward to Koulibaly starting this one. A lot of players that I'm looking forward to seeing start this one. But there's no telling what Graham Potter would do. But we'll get into it straight away. Again, whenever again you guys join, again you join us where we're at. And Roger, again, welcome back to the panel again. I hope you're doing well.
Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been like it's been like a few years, right? I understand. So we'll get into it again. This is one I'd like to end quickly because people like to watch quite a lot of it. If the shorter, the better. But I see it's going to be really difficult to get it done.
Less is more.
Less is more, yeah. But it's not going to be easy because we do analyze before we select. We go straight to the goalkeeping position. Yeah, I don't think anything changes right now. If it was a cup game, then you'd be certain that Mendy will start over Kepa and Gallagher. But given again how well what's his name? How well Kepa and Gallagher has done, and how Graham Potter has sang him praises in public. Again, there's no denying that he's going to start this one, really. What do you think?
Injuries aside, I believe it's Kepa. It's Kepa's job to lose. He basically alluded to that. He wants competition, and he said that's healthy for the position. And he mentioned that the qualities that he brings on and off the pitch, and how much Edu, meaning Mendy, had been. They have a good rapport, which I suspected they did from the last year and a half. So
at least from us again, it's good to see that at least from on a surface level again. But go ahead.
Exactly, and I think because goalkeepers they're a different kettle of fish, a different breed unto themselves, and they're very close knit. Very rarely do you see where you have keepers where it's all, well, how shall I put this? Where they're not team orientated. Sure, they're very competitive, but they usually will point out, by the way, I just want to give you some advice. I think perhaps if you do A, B, or C, this may help you. They try to point out each other's, shall we say, deficiency and try to improve them on the most part, professionally, even at the highest level. So, and I think that's what's transpiring. I think they have a good rapport and chemistry with each other. I don't know about Bettinelli, but I'm sure he does also. In fact, he spoke all highly about all three of them. So I think this is good. And he also mentioned that he bought there's two coaches he bought over from Brighton regarding goalkeepers. I forget their names. So this bodes well. This bodes very well. But it's Kepa's for sure. Unless he pulls something in warm up or whatever.
Yeah, and I know you're already seeing that I have 4-2-3-1, my favorite. I think even in the last game, I think we did revert to this system.
I think we did, yes. And actually, I was wrong. I thought that Potter would do a 4-2-3-1. That wasn't the case. Listen, now we have 6 games to go on. And the only statistical anomaly that I see in the fact that it was an away game, and this is an away game also, so maybe he does play with a back three. He may go with the approach that if it's an away game and it's not an Elite Six team, then he'll probably start with a back three. This is the only common denominator I can tell so far. So let's see. Who knows? It's if the professionals can't figure him out, then who am I to prejudge or to assume what he will do?
Yeah. Again, let's say again the Kepa in goal and the right hand side here. The most likely player here, I think, will be again Cesar Spilicueta, because he hasn't played too many. Again,
no,
he had to. He didn't he come off the bench the last game?
He came on in the second half.
But still, he didn't play 90 minutes, which to me looks like, go ahead.
Yeah, he played for all intents and purposes. I believe he played 51 minutes because it was 6 minutes overtime. So
do you think he starts?
I believe there's a strong possibility, but we have Man U. So I think someone mentioned, I haven't checked the schedule yet. I need to do that, but I believe we're starting another 6 days. We have 3 games, I believe, in the next 6 days. I'd have to see that. Let me have a look. What are we now? The 19th? So, yes.
Yeah, today is the 19th, yeah.
Then in the 25th, we have 3 games. So we have another 3 games in 6 days. This is ridiculous. Wow.
It's just the whole thing just, squeezed together because of the World Cup. We're trying to,
Yeah, and then we have Man U on Saturday. Wow. And that's what is that? Is that no? That's at home actually.
Yeah, so, it is a crazy period, honestly. Let's see again. On the right hand side, I think it will most likely be Spilicueta.
Yeah, I think that's a strong
again.
shout.
Sorry,
it's a strong shout. Yes.
And I'm thinking again, given what we've seen so far, again, I think he prefers always going with a hybrid approach where you can always easily switch it to a 3 at the back. A structure from that to a 4 at the back, and that's the reason probably Chalobah starts here. So when Spilicueta is playing as right wing, that's Spilicueta. If he moves off here, Chalobah becomes the right centre back. That's when it's a flat back 3.
Coach, I just want to mention something. Did you view the last game versus Villa a second time?
I haven't right now. Why'd you ask?
Because he actually, remember we were discussing the review of that game where you were saying, should Potter have reacted sooner? Well, actually, in the 32nd minute, Sterling, that was in that right back position in a back 3, that was the last time he played that position, because 3 minutes, do you remember Chilwell made a foul, got yellow carded, and there was a free kick? Okay, and then that was 3 minutes later when that took place, and that's where actual Ruben started in that position. So the 35th minute onwards was when. So he did make in-game adjustments, by the way, just to let you know.
Yeah, not in-game. I think changes when needed. If you ask me.
But I'm just saying that adjustment was made where Sterling had swapped places with several other players. So it was actually Ruben that took over that right wing back position. And the 35th minute, Sterling didn't play that since the 32nd minute. Just to let you know. So
which means he could have gone off. So the argument that he was played out of position doesn't make sense since he switched early in the game.
Well, he played 32 minutes in that position. That's all.
But overall, even when he changed, he still played badly. That's my point.
Duly noted. I just wanted to let you know that that's what I observed.
I think I noticed that during the game too. My brother Fairboy is in the house. Big up, bro. I hope you're doing well. How are you doing? Thank you for finding the time to join. Let's see. On the right hand side here, I'd say again, if you disagree, let me know why you disagree. I think Chalobah still starts. He's still young, and again, he hasn't played too many games of such to say. You know what? He's tired. But again, that highlights the fact that we're actually thin in that area and begs the question why we let Ampadu leave on loan in the first place. It just doesn't make sense. Here, I'd say I don't think Silva starts. How many games in a row now? That's like 2 or 3 in a row. I think he needs, even if he's fully fit, I wouldn't. Again, I don't think he starts. I think it's important that we rest him given his age. how many games he's played of late. I want your thoughts on that.
No, I agree. Who's to say though?
Maybe the plan was actually, Koulibaly didn't start the last game.
No, he didn't. But
maybe the plan was for Silva to finish that game and Koulibaly to start that one.
Sure.
I don't think it will make any sense if he gets injured. We're in serious trouble. Yes, we have Koulibaly, but
we have no
other than
depth behind
Koulibaly, who else can start centrally for us? But go ahead.
Mendy. you get my point. We have no depth basically because we've already lost one starter for Fofana. So we're very thin, and that's why you mentioned it's illogical why we actually. I mean, a player that plays in the World Cup and had helped them reach the finals. I just don't get why. What's his name? You just mentioned him, the Welsh player. Is not in our squad. Ampadu, Ethan. I mean, I really like him. Two decisions that really turned my head: Gilmore and Ethan. I just don't get it. Both of these players should be playing in our squad. So yeah, I believe I'm actually leaning towards a back three where we're going to have Koulibaly, Chalobah, and Azpilicueta in the back three. But I mean, it could be a back four. Who knows? But I've been wrong before. So, but yeah,
we're humans. We're not perfect.
Yeah, and I believe Silva's already, when he came off that game, he already stretched his hammy, so it was a bit sore from what everyone said. That's the quote, sore. So, yeah, it behooves Potter to instill man management where you rest him and possibly start him for the Man U game on Saturday.
Yeah, I do think Potter will be doing that too, because he did say himself that we have to consider his age. Yeah, go ahead.
And he mentioned that he's consulting with him. He's part of the consultation process. He's a part of it. He meaning Silva, which is good. So I was really impressed with that sentence when questioned about. Yeah, that was impressive.
It wouldn't make any sort of sense to just keep playing him because he's again because he's fit. And then overplay him, and he gets injured, and we'll be in more serious trouble than we've been before.
I was actually talking about the fact that he keeps someone in the loop. Communication is so important, and so he's respecting this individual player to keep him in the loop and be a part of the conversation. Because, as he said, he knows his body better than anyone. So he did well. Yeah. So I'd be so surprised if Silva starts. I'd be shocked.
No, it wouldn't make any sort of sense. Here on the left-hand side, I think Cucurella, I think he starts again.
Probably.
I think he starts.
But he was horrible. So I watched the whole game back a second time. And listen, Chilwell was putrid also. But Cucurella, the thing that really got me was that he lost. And I know there's sun, like most English stadiums, they're built and they're not the sun. The shadows are not part of the equation because it's mostly so cloudy. But that is the case in modern stadiums in the US, especially on the West Coast, where it's sunny a lot. They take the concept of which angles the sun will hit and so forth. So, but Cucurella lost the ball in several accounts. His spatial awareness and so forth was really poor. He was worse than Chilwell. But yeah, he'll probably start. I never thought I would see him have a poor game because apparently he's been a solid player, but he's human. But I wouldn't be surprised if Chilwell started or Cucurella. Who knows?
What do you say the issue we had in that game was due to, the poor again, the non-existence of our midfield on that day?
I so honestly. Since seeing it the second time, it's quite obvious to me that, yes, you can say that, but that's a domino effect because when you have Aubameyang up front that wasn't doing any closing down, and when he was replaced by Conor, it was so different. They were pressing constantly.
Yes, then if we had a much, again, better midfield that protected our defense better, I think you wouldn't even again. And Aubameyang, he was starved of the ball. Let's phrase it that way.
No. But we're talking about there's two scenarios that there's where you judge a player when we have possession. Like, does he make the runs, or is that person actually with possession of the ball? What does he do with it? Does he lose it, dribbling, etc., or does he make a good run? Or when we're out of possession, so does he close down? Does he tackle? Does he track back? Does he intercept, etc.? And I'm talking about when we don't have possession, Aubameyang. You know, you're talking about getting service. That's completely different. That's with possession. I'm talking about without possession. He was negligent. He was derelict of his duties. I watched the game, and I specifically watched him and Havertz for the most part in the first half. And that changed when he was substituted. You could tell they were pressing. They were turning the ball over in their own half because of the pressing. That did not transpire when Aubameyang was on the field. I know that's not what he's hired to do because of his age and his legs, but so you are valid on what you're saying about the actual midfield, but it starts up front, sir. This is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's the truth. I understand that, but that's something that I'm sure Potter knows he won't get that much of it from Aubameyang given his age. And usually, even when he was younger, it's not his thing. But that's, by the way, again, Fairboy says, I'm hearing theories that Chalobah is the reason we win the games. Yeah, it's a funny one, but the truth is, again, all of a sudden we're all getting superstitious. Again, saying, okay, starting if that's the case, the numbers show that we haven't lost a game. Again, all in any of the games that he started. Again, I think the least has been draws. Again, yeah, if you're superstitious, you believe in it and it works.
And more importantly, Coach, Potter said that his black turtleneck, he used it last season and he's unbeaten in it. So maybe he should be wearing that every game.
Oh, he asked, okay, the turtleneck, Potter wearing a turtleneck, plus again, Chalobah starting, and then you can be sure we're winning the league, man. But
I wish.
Susan Gleason says a 4-3-3 would be good, I guess. That's another good formation. But with that, I really would like to see a 4-3-3 formation or structure, if you prefer, where Loftus-Cheek gets to play on the flanks, because he likes to hog. He does better whenever he's deployed on the flanks. But it remains to be seen. Maybe he'd give it a shot. Go ahead. What do you think, Roger?
It's possible. You know, it's entirely possible. You know, I mean, you've mentioned this many times. Potter likes to concentrate in overwhelming certain positions, like a midfield. You know, he identifies his opponent's weaknesses, and he attacks that. So, what are Brentford's, shall we say, most often used formation? I'm not really familiar with them.
Yeah, let's look at it. Here they're using the 4-3-3.
They do use back four most of the time, do they?
Yeah, back four most of the time. So let's check in their previous, again, the games they've played recently. Maybe we'll get a better understanding of that. That's Brentford again. Where's it? Fixtures, maybe. That'll give us a better. Let's take it from fixtures. They beat Brighton 2-0. What formation did they use on that day? Let's see. Is it? They used a 4-3-3 formation also.
Okay.
4-4-2 from Brighton. Let's see what else. Again, what other game here can we look at? I'd have to go back here again. So let's check out at least two of their most recent games.
Yeah.
Okay, 2-0. They lost 5-1 to Newcastle. Oof. Okay. So they played a 3 at the back there, 3-4-2, 3-5-2 actually. See that?
Yeah.
So I don't think. Let's see one more. We've checked 2 games, and the probable lineup against us shows they're playing that structure against Bournemouth, so to speak. What's the structure here? A 4-3-3. So maybe let's just say predominantly 4-3-3. Yeah. So go ahead with what you were saying.
No. Well, okay. So they don't play. Well, like I said, they don't play primarily with the back three. So Yeah, we may use 3 in the midfield because if we have 2 in the midfield, I know our wing backs are in midfield a lot and going forward, but we could be outnumbered in midfield. We
Yeah.
could very well be.
But I think Potter will have a very good understanding of how they prefer to
For
play.
sure.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
not just him, his coaching staff, that they look at games, future games, like the next opponent, and they discuss, that they break it down and they'd have team meetings. So I believe he'll be well prepped.
Yeah, I think he will. Again, I think we'll see him play 4-3-3, but I'm not sure that what he deploys today. If he plays 4-3-3, it will be most likely, possibly Mason Mount may not start because I think he's
Who
taking.
knows?
Who knows though? But I think he's subscribed to the idea that Mason Mount plays better when he plays centrally. And on 2 occasions we've seen him there, and he's done quite well. I've seen him play better than he's played for a while. Maybe that will happen again. Yeah, go ahead.
He may even use a 3-5-2 to overwhelm the midfield.
That's a chance. Again, the application is what matters. Whatever formation Potter goes with, I know he's a very flexible manager. We will be fine with his, again, hybrid system, and he's smart enough to change in game. Yeah, that's the truth. But again, I wanted him to make changes. Again, he took too long for me, and it was a risk. Had we considered the first goal on that day, it would have been difficult to come back and win that game. But again, the positive is that we won the game. So I get your point there. And Susan Geeson says, again, at back, again, with Cucurella and Kulik, we will be good. And we've seen that before. And that was against Wolves. It was a brilliant display from all the players that played on that day. And we were actually expecting to see the same 11. Maybe I don't know if you argued otherwise, Roger, but surprisingly, he went with most, again, some of the players, for instance, Raheem Sterling, who we didn't expect to start, and I don't expect him to start this one. If he starts, I'll be surprised. Yeah, you make a good argument there. Seco Daniel, again, more power, love, and again, all love. Again, thank you very much for that. Those emojis, I love them, and thank you for joining the show. If you haven't, take a second to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. So I'm going to come to you with this one, Roger, and I'll be surprised if you don't select your cousin there, the 2 6s, like we'll call it.
Yeah, I actually think J5's going to start.
Oh yeah, I think as long as he's fit, I think he's seen his importance to the team. We were calling for him to come in against what's the team again? The last game, and
Villa.
Nothing changed until he came on.
Actually,
but go ahead with what you're saying,
Coach. So I paid specific attention to that, and I must correct you politely, so respectfully. So he came on in the 65th minute, and Conor came on 7 minutes earlier in the 58th minute. So when Jorginho came on, we were taking the free kick. What's his name? Mount was taking the free kick that scored. Okay. From the next.
No, I'm not actually talking about the goals. I'm talking about how well we played in the midfield when he joined the game.
So I just want to say, for the next 6 minutes, he didn't have one touch of the ball, not one, and Conor had 7 touches on 4 different occasions. So honestly, I believe Conor was the issue. When I say issue, was the reason why we played much better, because he didn't even have contact with the ball for 6 minutes when he came on. Watch the game. I did. I noticed it, and I'm like, wow, Conor's had how many? It was 3, it was 4, and I rewound it to then count. It was 6 minutes, so watch it. So I respectfully disagree. He did make a difference. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he didn't, but he wasn't.
Well, at least you agree he made a difference.
Yeah, yes, but not to the extent for which you're alluding to, sir. That's all I have to say.
Okay. So who do you think again starts in that area with him? The pairing.
It could be my brother from another mother.
Your cousin, maybe.
Yeah. Ruben. It could be him. By the way, I thought he played well. Initially,
there's no taking anything. They did their job, but we weren't able to control the game. Like we weren't able to play our game.
But you know what? After viewing it the second time, I actually thought Ruben played really well.
I'm not taking it, like I said, I'm not taking anything away from them, but go ahead.
No, I was actually pleased with him because initially I thought he didn't have that good of a game. He actually played better than I first thought. It could be Ruben or it could be Kova. I have no idea. I would suspect Kova. I would suspect him, probably.
Yeah, I think Ruben still starts. So I'm thinking if Ruben starts either of these two, he will start alongside either of these two players.
Sure. And whoever started, it's really immaterial because they're going to get both of these players, Ruben and Kova, are going to get game time. The next two games, they're going to probably equally share the same. I mean, apart from injuries aside, they're going to share the same amount of minutes the next two games.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be subbed off at, let's say, 60 or 70. And then the alternative game, the other one will start in all likelihood. This is what I'm assuming. So,
yeah, in Potter's career, he's mainly used a midfield pivot, two sitting midfielders, 3-4-2-1, again 4-2-3-1, 4-2-2-2, 3-4-1-2. That is why I don't think we should expect a 4-3-3. I wouldn't be surprised again, but thank you for paying attention to that. I don't know either. Yeah, again, but at Brighton, I know he played with predominantly three at the back formation. But again, yeah, I think the whole thing also, he must consider the players he has. If they're not able to adapt to those variation of structures or formations, he probably will go to something we don't expect him to. Because, like you said, he's very versatile. Let's see what happens here again. It's going to be Ruben. You think, okay, let me just put up a poll. I know we don't have too many people in the chat, but I think a poll would do us a world of good. We can switch to other... we can switch it to other players while we wait for the poll to end. You can say, okay. One second, guys. I'll be with you.
How many people do we have viewing the video, sir?
34 at the same time, and I'm not sure how many who's in the chat.
So then we should have 35 likes. That's all I have to say.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we should have at least 35 likes. That's the truth. Again, if you haven't, take a second to like the stream and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, we decided to split it so that it makes it easier for those, that weren't part of the show to be able to watch it and not think it's too long. But we'll see. It's an experiment, but I think it makes sense. Number one, Chelsea, again, a prospective fan is in the house. Big up to you, Jump Pots Entertainment. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for finding the time to join us. Again, whatever happens, Mount has to play. Again, that boy is a fighter. That's just the truth. And that's how we end up overplaying him. He's that important. But then again, if I were, again, Graham Potter, I'd start rotating him with Conor Gallagher. Why? Because primarily, again, he offers the same energy that, again, or industry, if you prefer, the Mount offers whenever he's on the pitch. That commitment, again, yeah. What do you think, Roger?
Yes, I totally concur. Otherwise, you're going to see a muscle injury. It's simple as that. Even though he's very young, you can still look at Reece. It's the body is not designed to produce this much output within this shorter period of time. It's just simply not. We progressed in science where the nutrition, the cooling down, etc., these are peak athletes, and it's not sustainable to play 3 games a week, 3 games in 6 days. It's just not. Your body will break down, and you're more susceptible to muscle injuries. So you have to rotate in man management, not just him specifically, the whole squad. It's vital. Otherwise, we're going to be depleted, and you're going to ruin someone's career. Let's be honest here. So it behooves Potter to know the fact that Mount played so many minutes last year, so many games, and likewise this year. I think he needs to be rotated. Otherwise, you're going to see the consequences of that, unfortunately.
Yeah, you'd be tempted. There's that temptation to overplay him because of how well he does on the pitch. Again, if you haven't, bro, I know we're supposed to have a meeting to discuss something important. Sorry, we haven't. hopefully we'd have the time to do it today. I think we should. I'll let you know when I come back from again a school runs, and I'll reach out to see if you have time so we can talk about it. No, I'm talking to Fairboy, my Ghanaian brother. Yeah. Again, it says, yep, okay, again, and jump up. Make sure you go check out Fairboy's YouTube channel. He will share the links, the link to his 2 channels whenever he gets a chance. Please go check it out. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. Again, to me, we'll wait. I think, 50-50 right now. Let's give it time. So we'll switch to here. I think for me, Christian Pulisic deserves a start. Again, I don't think it makes sense that he dropped to the bench for Raheem Sterling to start over him against Aston Villa. I know some people will come with the argument that, well, the structure doesn't favor him because we started with 2-8, but let us switch to this particular structure here, something similar that had the 2 players up there on the flanks. So I think he deserves to start. Again, he should have, I believe, to me, I think he should have started against Aston Villa to build on, again, the performance he showed against Wolves. He didn't play in the Champions League, so he was well rested and I believe ready to go. To our surprise, he was dropped to the bench. What do you think? I think he starts this one, definitely.
I'll be dumbfounded if he doesn't. Then hypothetically, let's say Sterling does start, we have to ask the question, what is going on here? Either Pulisic is really, he's not reaching his potential or not trying in training. There's something amiss if Pulisic isn't starting in this heavily, scheduled amount of weeks. It's ridiculous. There has to be rotation. If he doesn't start, then I think that's an eyebrow, that there's a signal there that something's wrong. Because I think he's worthy of starting. He's a very good player. I rate him highly. Is he inconsistent? Yes. Is he injury prone? Yes. But he needs to start showing his mettle right now and start showing, be consistent, be productive, and be who we know he can be. But yeah, I believe I'll be shocked if Potter doesn't start him, coach.
Yeah, again, I'd be shocked if it doesn't start, and I'd be shocked if Raheem Sterling gets on the pitch. I don't know. I just wouldn't. Again, I just don't understand.
If he doesn't start, then we need to talk about it in the next few days, because then he's injured and it's not publicly known. He's got maybe a knock.
I really do not think that's the case.
I'm just throwing it out there. There's something. There has to be a reason why you're starting Sterling every game when he has been, let's be honest here, not that productive. And he's been poor. He's been really off form. You must admit, the last 3 or so games, he hasn't been up to par. I'm being honest here. I'm not being.
No, I know what you're talking. He's been awful too. It's not. He's been really about 3. He's had 3 stinkers in a row. Actually, 4 right now. And so he doesn't deserve a place in the lineup right now.
If you look in the box when he's had the touch, he's had the opportunity to do something. His first touch lets him down yet again. There's something awry if he does start.
Yeah, again, it's some delicious update sent to me by Liam Lane. I wanted us to look at it during this particular show, and I think we'll do so. It's about his numbers in terms of completed the most progressive passes per 90 minutes of any Premier League centre back. And you were thinking that it was just going to be Chelsea, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Koulibaly, what a signing he's been for us.
Or
Koulibaly.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah, and again, he's proven a lot of people wrong. I remember the game somebody was thinking he was crap. What a player he's been for us. Let's see what else we have here. Again, smash the like button, people, if you haven't. Please, Fireboy, share the link to your channel immediately. I know Jampot will want to look at it and others in the chat. And I know, again, Roger himself like exploring channels and would want to go look at your content because you're good at analyzing football. I think he will love to go look at it. Here we have, again, smash the like button, people. We have 20 likes. We should be doing better than that because we have 42 people watching. Again, let's get up the numbers again. Even 50 will be okay because we split the show into two. Mount needs to rest. Porter and the fans should remember we have much bigger games coming up at the end again of October. That's why I say he should start the process of rotating Mount and what's the other, Conor Gallagher. Both are capable of producing such again high level output like Mount has shown in the past. I would be surprised if Mount does start today. I think he probably starts today and rest for the next game. What game do we play next?
Man U at home on Saturday.
Oh, so
yes.
If anything, I think he probably will decide to rest Mount today, or maybe play him today and also play him in the next game. Yeah, we can all agree that Thiago Silva is not going to start this one. We'll see what happens again, but we need Mount to keep winning. That's the thing. It's the same thing as, again, Thiago Silva. You think he's not going to start. You think the manager will give him a rest given his age. And boom, you see him on the pitch again. That's because that's how important he is to the team. I was following Josh again, CFC Josh, his tweet. And I said, I don't think Silva starts. And he said, he explained why he's going to start. He's that important. And I had to agree immediately, having looked at it. I say, well, yeah, I think he's that important. He starts, but I think this time I'd be surprised if he starts. It will be a huge risk because the games are coming in thick and fast. So we need to start rotating our crucial players. If we had again rested Reece James in the Milan match, he would have been available for Manchester United and Man City. I really don't think so. I think he didn't start the previous game, the game before that one. So he was rested. So I think it would have happened sooner or later. That is why, again, I will start both Sterling and Pulisic. I don't think I start them both. Starting them both means you drop one of the players, that has the energy, that does again enough running to help us to start defending from the front three. What do you think, really, Roger? Would you start Raheem Sterling and Pulisic in the same game?
Maybe in a couple of months, not this week. No way. No way. Listen, he's out of form. And I say this politely. This is the polite way of me saying he is playing poorly. Very poorly.
Mm-hmm. Even if it's in form, I don't think it makes any sort of sense to start them both. They both like to play on the left.
Yes, but you know what? As I mentioned before, you look at Liverpool 2 or 3 years ago. You've got Bobby Firmino, you've got Mane, you've got Salah. They started consistently so much. They built a chemistry over the years. I mean, predominantly those were the three starters. Obviously, I'm talking about in the Premier League games and obviously in Europe, for the Champions League. But so you do need to have that continuity to build chemistry, etc. It just doesn't happen overnight. So I get it. But I think when you're A, out of form, and B, when you have this many games in such a short period of time, you do have to rotate. Man management is key.
Yeah, indeed. Yes, indeed. You're very correct. That is why I will start both Sterling and Pulisic. And here we have very good, again, depth in our team, not balanced, really. We have a large squad. I think we still do, but it's not balanced. We're lacking some, for instance, in the attacking area, we're lacking for players who are capable of consistently creating chances from the central area and not just, again, the majority of the chances we create, even under Thomas Tuchel, have all come from the flanks. Go ahead. Were you saying something?
Yeah, that's valid. But coach, the most amount of chances created under Tuchel in his tenure, out of all the other 19 teams, that's prolific. And yet,
from the flanks too, yeah. But I'm just saying it works. But at the time, don't you think it is predictable indeed?
But look at Liverpool. Theirs basically come from the flanks.
Yeah, but we have to mix it up.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying we don't. But I'm saying, look at Liverpool, for instance. They invariably come from the flanks. By far, you look at Robinson and what's his name? The chap that plays for England. He's got a torn, I think, ankle or knee. I forgot his name. Trent Alexander.
What position?
Right back,
Oh,
Leeds'
Trent.
position. Yeah, they're wing backs that they produce so much. So you have to, they are. I mean, they score far more than us, and yet they create less chances from the flank. So that tells us that we're not clinical. That's all I'm trying to say. I agree with you.
No,
do have
we
to
created quite
produce.
a lot of chances, but we weren't clinical. Just my
Yes.
point is again, if we get any team that are able to shut it out on the flanks, we won't be able to do anything. So yeah, I'm just saying again. My point is we have a large squad, we still do, but we not balanced really.
Well, we're not
Well,
thin. I think we're
yeah,
thin at the back, coach. To be
yeah, we
honest
are
with
thin
you.
at the back. That's for sure. That's a part of lack of the balance too. Again, in the midfield area, we have too many midfielders of
Eights.
non-complementary
Yes.
qualities or
Too
the
many
same.
eights.
Yeah. Yeah. So
We
again,
have.
all of them
Yeah.
again, it says that we have a very good depth in our team now again, and all of them are brilliant players. Again, who deserve to get a chance. They all do, but the question is where do they deserve to play for anything? Again, if you're watching, if you haven't, take a second to like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And then the poll is everywhere. It was 50-50 for a while, and then 55 covers 60-45 loves this chick. I hope that changes. Let's see, because I want Roger's cousin to start. And Liam Lane here says again, please like and subscribe when you enter if you have not, as it helps the channel reach a wider audience. Yes, people, please do that for us. Again, Jump Out into the says Silva needs a rest. Mount, Kepa, and Chukwemeka needs to start along again with Ruben and J5. We'll most likely will see Chukwemeka as again coming again towards the end of matches. Again, I don't see him starting right away. He's not but he will get his chance. And here's the link to Fairboy's YouTube channel. Be sure to go check it out, subscribe, let him know I sent you. Thank you so much for that. Again, keep liking the stream if you haven't. Just subscribe to your channel, Fairboy. Oh, thank you for doing that. I appreciate you subscribing to his channel. Big up Pichila and Pana. Big up to you, Queen of the House. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time again to join. Oh, I just saw something from Just Viola. He's asking from where's Nightbot. Yeah, Nightbot is still on our soccer perspective. That's that's what happens. He's not on it's not on yep. Nightbot isn't on Manchester perspective at this point, but I'll try to bring it out and bring him back in a bit. We seriously need competition for Reece James, like again what we have done with signing Cuckoo. Plus, Vadiol may join, so Cuckoo will probably play predominantly in a left wing back position if that happens. But we'll see. Smash the like button, people. Yes, keep liking the video. Surprisingly, we've gotten 20 likes, more than again I expect us to get for this show, given that we split the show into two. Pulisic deserves to start in this game today. Also, Ziyech might start again in this game. Ziyech, I'm not sure, but if he starts, I wouldn't be surprised. We're paying him. And again, he needs to answer whenever he's called upon and get the job done for us. Yes, people smash the like button and 22 likes right now. We can do better than that. Greetings, coach and crew. Pulisic should start. Silva should be rested. That's what we think. Again, what we think will be best for the team, but it all comes down to what the manager wants. Nightbot is on vacation in Jamaica. Okay, let's see. To our team post, I'm going to leave this for a while. Pulisic will agree. On the right-hand side, I think Gallagher starts this one. What do you think, really? And I was shocked to see he didn't start against he didn't start against Aston Villa. I don't know what really happened. Your thoughts, Roger?
Yeah, I believe. Wow, I don't want Ziyech to start. I really don't. This is a physical team, and I think they will overpower him. I think Gallagher brings productivity, and he's relentless, and he has a good eye for goal. Listen, Ziyech is technical. He's a very he's a refined player. Let's leave it at that. But I think Gallagher is more suited to this game. I really do. I believe he should be starting there. I think we need to rest Mount. You know, I
Yeah,
really do.
again, we cannot overplay him because he's doing well. I don't think it makes any sort of sense. But unfortunately, we may see we may see that happen again. That's how important he is this team.
Yeah, but there's a
Hopefully,
limit, though, Coach. There's a limit. I mean,
yeah,
we're not talking about every 3-4 days you're playing. It's 3 games in 6 days. This is not sustainable. It's been like this for a week now. You can't do this week in, week out. You
yeah,
just
we
can't.
can. It's a huge risk, really.
The body breaks down. It's simple as that. These are elite athletes. They need recuperation. It takes its toll. It's a contact sport. This isn't golf.
No, it's not. Not at all. Not at all. And the polls, 14 votes, 64% coverage and 36% love Sissy. As much as I don't think coverage starts, I think we're gonna go with what the chart wants. But Gallagher on the right hand side. Let's do coverage here. I think I think that may well happen. You cannot be sure. Graham Potter, we don't have too much to work with when it comes to predicting his lineup or again what he'd do. So we have a problem here. As much as I'm thinking the Mount should rest, I think he still starts.
You're killing me.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously? Oh, it's I get it. What was the percentage in the voting?
For yeah, it was 64%. It's still I haven't shut it down. 64 to 33.
Let me go vote.
maybe maybe that
Seriously,
makes a huge difference. I think
Yeah.
I think it would be Loftus-Cheek and Jorginho. Yeah, but every time we do the analysis and then the chat thinks, okay, here you go. This
Actually,
is what
I'm not getting the poll. I'm not getting
You're not
that
seeing
poll.
it?
No, I'm the last one I see is Loftus-Cheek, Kovacic.
Oh, you can't vote?
I can, but the last one I saw was the midfield poll. I haven't seen the new.
Okay. It says from team news on the fifth stand up, Mount is in red hot form. It's probably again, yeah, he will start. That's the thing. But I think we should understand. Like we argued before the game against Aston Villa that I think what's his name, Broha should start. We argued that he should start. He's due for a start. But the argument we also recognized that Aubameyang he was in the goal scoring form, and there's a chance he starts over Broha. But I think he should have rested it for that game because he played in the Champions League, right? He played the last game. He should have rested and he can continue with his goal scoring form in the next game. So I didn't know why he started, and it ended up being a bad day at the office for him. But that's by the way. Anyway, again, if it was up to me, I would start Dennis Ruben and Chukwuemeka in the midfield. Yeah, but sorry, we know again the whole thing comes down to what Graham Potter wants. So yeah, it gets worse. It gets worse. 71% to 29. So I'm going to end it before it becomes embarrassing, really. So Roger, the number 10 position, who do you think plays? I know people in the chat think most likely Mount.
I would like to see Kai there
because he can play that too.
Yes, this is his.
I don't think he will really.
Doesn't he play that for Deutschland?
Doesn't he? Yeah, he has played. I think he's played there before. Yeah.
Yeah, he primarily plays in that position, the supporting number 9. So I would like to see. I mean, if Mount starts there, I get it. I mean, Mount, Gallagher, and well, in a perfect world, we would have had Reece playing up there. Those 3 know each other, but you know, I just don't. I want him rested. As simple as that, because of injury concerns. So I would like to see Kai there more than anyone, because of based on the injury. But if Mount plays there, he plays there. I don't know.
I think Mount will most likely start. Yeah, given what what just the other saw in the fifth stand, it only makes sense. And please, if you're watching, if you haven't, we have 26 likes, and that's not easy. Again, given that we split the show into 2, again, I appreciate that. I think that's going to be whenever we have a match on the same day. I think it would be better to split it, so anybody that wants to watch it before the game starts does so. Again, please like and subscribe when you enter if you have not, as it helps the channel reach a wider audience. I remember the day Liam posted this again by mistake, left out the L, probably had it somewhere and had to copy it out. Yeah, that was hilarious. But we understood what he wanted to say. Yeah, Pulisic, again, the Porter wouldn't want to make so many changes that the performance becomes disjointed. I think he has, again, I think he should have a good idea, like he proved against Wolves. We made 7 chances on that day, and it was a brilliant performance. But unfortunately, he mixed it up. He didn't even start enough of the players that started against Wolves, against Aston Villa. Probably he was trying to startle the opposition. Go ahead, Roger. You were saying something.
Yeah, that was a prolific amount. 7 outfield changes. That's huge. You know, and we played. I know the opponent was really out of form and played quite poorly, but we looked impressive. We really did, and that was a 4-2-3-1, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, no, that was I'm smitten by it. That's
yeah, I know. Who wouldn't be, right? But
yeah, I think it was on that day. That was where I got hooked onto it. And again, I loved Mason Mount performance playing centrally. 57% thinks it will be Kai Havertz. 43 Mason Mount. I wouldn't be surprised if Mason Mount rests. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts either. But we'll see. For me, I think he starts. Sorry?
Yeah. Who knows, you know? If I see Mount starting, Pulisic starting, and Silva starting, I'm not going to be pleased.
Yeah, it becomes too much risk, right?
Yeah, it really does. I don't know. But then again, that's why he's paid the big bucks, right?
Yeah, to figure it out.
Let's see again. Logically,
yeah, go ahead.
I want to say. It just logically doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't really, because the games are coming in thick and fast, and we don't want to.
And I'm sure he has to take medical input. He has a medical staff that advise him, and this is pretty much unprecedented area that we're entering right now, because this is the first World Cup mid-season, and we've never experienced this amount of volume of games in such a short period of time. So you would think the medical staff would be advising him cautiously based on this.
Yeah.
So if he goes against the medical advice, I would be shocked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here he says again, Susan Gibson says Mount's work ethic is more than Kai. Oh, yeah. We don't need FBI. We don't need to see specialists.
You know what, though? Kai's output. Watch Kai.
No, he watch him. But I don't think he can measure Mount.
No, but for a forward, he works his tush off. He really does. His output is prolific.
He can press, but the truth, I think I agree with Mount again. With Susan, I think Mount again work ethic is more than that of Kai. That's the truth. But would love to see Kai as a super sub with goal. Kai usually don't impact that game much when he comes off the bench.
That's true.
His best games is when he starts. And there's something I'm seeing again that has persisted with Kai is that he doesn't start seasons well. I just don't know why. Yeah.
He's a hurricane in that regard.
So, yeah, he doesn't start the season well, and I'm sure Potter, he's well acquainted with that. But that needs to change. But then again, we know what he's capable of doing, and the manager understands what he does for the team. And he's going to be here for a while, really. Again, if that happens, I take it, but I want him to start. The question is, will he start over again a Mount, or he will start in the number 9 position? I don't know. Wherever he plays, I take him. I like to watch him play again. His combination play is really always, again, and hold up play is good too. But that's why we have Havertz. We don't know what's going to happen. I saw the mixture of Havertz and Broja, and it didn't look concrete. I think a Chukwuemeka and Broja mixture would be a better mixture of this game, because Kai also a crucial player who needs a rest. I think he needs a rest too. But let's see. Let's get the likes up, people. We're at 27 likes. We can do better than that. I'm not sure what to do with this poll now. It's 50-50.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's not helping. Because we're going to need our best starting 11 when we play Manchester United. That's another one.
Exactly.
Again, it makes sense. Let's get the likes up, people. Again, says the Queen of the House. Please do so. One up now, 28 likes. I think we can do better than that. Let's give them. Again, I think I'm just going to say Mount starts there. I think Kai is going to drop to the bench. Yeah, 55% now. Maybe I should end it. 11 votes. That's not a bad sample size given how many people we have watching right now. So I'm going to plug in Mount here, but I wouldn't be surprised either if he drops to the bench. Yeah, that's what they picked. So here's where we have a problem. For me, I'd give Breuer a chance in this game, really. And I'm serious about it. Given, again, Aubameyang, even though, yes, he was starved of the ball in the last game, but the truth remains, again, he looked tired, if you ask me. What do you think, Roger?
Very much so. I mean, I watched, intensely. He was the number one person in the first half that I watched more than any other player was Aubameyang, and he was just not productive. I was so disappointed with his output. I have a strong feeling that he may choose him again today, and if he does, I'm not going to be that pleased, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of his.
I think but go ahead. Let me let you drop.
You know, what was the last game where he scored? Not the last game, the game before, where he did absolutely nothing, but then he scored. I mean, so I get it. He's clinical, but
which is why what he's on the pitch to do.
Yeah, exactly.
More importantly,
he's not there to, block a goal off the line, right? He's there to make that net bulge. That's basically what he's hired for. I would love to see Breuer start. I would, but so how many games have we been saying this very sentence? It seems like it's been
quite a lot of them.
Yeah, and how many has he started?
None.
Exactly. It's deja vu all over again.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is that even some journalists are making the meal of it, right? And how he'd be looking to leave or come another transfer window, but I don't think
he's signed a 6+1. There's no way
I think the club really wants to keep him. That was why they gave him that much.
Patient with him, and I respect that. He's a very young man. He's nowhere near his prime, and he did not look a happy camper coming on though.
And he got a beautiful goal today, the other day, so to speak.
You mean versus was it Wolves?
Yeah, a world-taking goal.
Yeah, it was beautiful, sumptuous. It was very technical. He's probably not going to start, coach. They're probably he'll start in a cup game, probably, maybe not the City game, and then he'll get more time. He'll probably come on and given, if you notice, he's coming on with 10, 20 minutes on the average, 15, 20 minutes. That may increase as time goes on, and then he'll be given a start in a cup, and then maybe if he does well in those, then he'll get more minutes as a starter as the season progresses, perhaps. It looks like they're bleeding him in slowly. They're not throwing him in at the deep end. It doesn't appear that way. Because we've been saying this same thing for about a month now, give or take. I would love for him to start. Don't get me wrong. I want him to start over Aubameyang.
Yeah, I totally understand.
But I don't see him starting, sadly. Would I like him to? I'd love him to.
Yeah, I honestly do think that this is the game that he gets to start.
Either him or Kai. If Mount is going to be in the number 10, I'd like Kai or Breuer there. That's just my opinion, which doesn't count.
Yeah, again, 2 votes and it's 100% Breuer. But let's see. Let's give it a few minutes as the show progresses to see.
It's going to be 3 votes in a minute. Boom! There you go.
Yeah, I'm saying that again. Yeah, 4 votes and 1 more % added to it. 100% Breuer. I think Breuer again. I think he should start this game again. This is not me. I think he deserves to start again. He's shown what he's capable of doing. Plus, Aubameyang didn't looks tired. Yeah,
and he's productive off the ball, which I like. So it's not just what he does on the ball; it's what he does off the ball, or what he does when we have the ball when he's not in possession of the ball. I like him. He makes good runs, intelligent runs. For a man of his youth, does very well. I like his runs.
Yep, and for here, what do we have again? This comment here says again, today is a day. It's a good opportunity to give the players with less minutes a chance again to prove themselves. Yep, again, what you have for starting place in the lineup. Havertz will play at number 9 if Mount starts. That's the truth. But if Mount doesn't start, the most likely person to play in that number 10 position, that is if what we showed on the screen will be the structure, will be again. What was again? Yeah, it will be Mount, but if not, vice versa. Again, it will be Kai Havertz, so to speak, if Mount isn't playing. So look at what we have here. This guy here is a tricky customer, really. Ivan
Who's that,
Toney.
Tony?
Yeah, again.
He's impressive, coach.
Yeah, again, goals. Wow, this season 8 goals in 10 matches. That's nearly 1 goal per game. How do we deal with him? Really, I think. And I think again, Matisse called him another Didier Drogba. He's powerful too, and he's a fine finisher, technically gifted too. How do we deal with him?
He's got everything in his locker, coach. He's got everything.
He's got everything in his locker. Yeah. How do we deal with him? 8 goals in 10 in 10 matches. No player in our team comes close.
Simple.
Sorry?
Yeah, how do we deal with him? It's simple. We buy him. We buy him, coach. That's what we do. It's okay. Can I ask a serious question?
Yes.
Would you want us to acquire him? Whether it costs 80 or 100 million golf balls?
To be honest, I wouldn't say. I wouldn't say. I was not really. Seriously.
Really? Why? You don't think it's Chelsea material?
I don't. Again, let me just say, like American was. No, again, I don't know him like that.
Sure. No, the sampling rate. Listen. This is isn't this his first? Oh, this is his second season in the Premier League. So he started last year. Also, you can safely assume that his production's gone up this year. I think he's Premier League material.
Yeah, I think he is. He is again. Plus, here's the thing I want to say again. It's just me not know him that well. I can't just jump to the conclusion that he do well at Chelsea without again doing my research properly.
Yeah, it's
there
like
are all the factors again. Yeah. Usually, how I do it is think about how the manager plays.
Sure.
Before I look at the player, and I haven't done that. Is he a good player? Yes. At the time, he was one of the attackers we were calling for the club to look at. But again, it turns out the club again maybe didn't consider they don't want him. Yeah. But go ahead if you were saying something. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he would. He reminds me of who's the Wolves player, that former Chelsea player? I forgot his name. Brazilian, but born in Brazil anyway, but plays for Spain. He's like 34, 30. Yes, Diego Costa. He reminds me of a young Diego Costa. He's hungry. He's physical. He's clinical. He's good in the air. I don't know how old he is. He's young though. He's not in his prime. I would. Tony.
Let me check.
He's like 25 to 26, somewhere around there. Or is he older?
I'm not sure. Let me just check quickly. Go ahead with what you were saying.
I like him. I think he would suit Potter's playing style in the formations we use. I think any team would love to have him. I can't see him staying at Brentford past this season. I think someone's going to make a move on him. I'd be very surprised if he starts for Brentford next year, assuming he's healthy. God forbid he doesn't, tear an ACL or something. I can't see him staying there if he's this productive. No disrespect to Brentford, that's my grandfather's team. I've actually been to more Brentford games than I have Chelsea games. As a wee lad, when I was 10, 11, I would go with my friends to Brentford because I live in Ealing, West London. So it's very close to me. Yeah, so
he's 26 years old. I don't think
26? Okay.
Yeah. Maybe because we have Broya again, maybe we didn't consider him, and we had Aubameyang, we weren't serious about him, and the manager then wanted Aubameyang. Yeah, smash that like button, people, and subscribe to the channel. 31 likes. You guys have surprised me. I didn't know we were actually getting anything close to 30, but thank you so much. I take that. I know this is off topic, but what do you think about again Savage being signed when Kante and Jorginho Again, leave Chelsea on a free. Savic will be a good addition to the club, especially again the way he plays. I think it suits Potter's style of play. He's not your traditional DM. Again, he's much more mobile.
You like him,
Again,
don't you?
I like him. I like Savic, yeah, because we looked at him then. There was a time the rumors broke that we were looking at him. It turns out it wasn't true. And again, and we saw his agent, who also played for Chelsea, was a former Chelsea. He was a former Chelsea player. What's his name? Was it? He's very tall.
What, the agent?
Yeah, the agent was played for Chelsea. One of the tallest players you'd ever see before. In his, I've forgotten his name. So the rumors then was that again he was. I hope I'm not mixing up things. There, he was again him being the tallest. I think he is. I think I'm correct. Again, he was at the club, and again, the thing. My thoughts then was, okay, maybe this one is going to work. Eventually, turns out again we didn't look at him. I wasn't sure. No way to confirm if it was the truth. Now, Broya again. Okay, I see. Let's see again. I am seeing news again at the fifth end indicating Broya is definitely starting. What does it say specifically? Because I don't think they'd come out there and say that a particular player will be starting. I don't think that will happen.
No way.
No, it wouldn't. And I don't think the formation will be 4-3-2-1. I don't think so. With Ruben Loftus-Cheek centrally, I think these guys just the guys at Fortnum just threw the players there. So let's look at insights and see if there's anything we can read from it. If not, we call it a day. And again, it's been two brilliant shows this morning for me, an afternoon to some people. I'm trying to find out. Okay, here's the insights here. Ranked fifth in goals scored per match, 1.8 goals. So we have to be at a game to be able to stop them from scoring. That's why, my prediction is 3-1. We're going to win 3-1. Have been awarded the most penalties this season. And when that happens, it often repeats itself. So I'm concerned about that one too. It says Brentford and Chelsea have not drawn any of their last 5 matches against each other. We've won them both. Isn't that what it is? I think so. I'll look at head-to-head in a bit.
They beat us 4-1 last time we played.
Under who?
Tuchel. Last time we played Brentford, they beat us 4-1.
Oh, that's the truth. That's one of the worst games last season. Ranked 7 again. That was last season, right?
Affirmative.
Okay. Ranked 7th in goals scored. So they do better than us in terms of putting away the chances or scoring during games overall. Ranked 2nd away from home. So we're doing well away, and it's a good thing it's away. So that one is something to look forward to. Haven't lost in 6 matches. That's a good one on our side. Again, those things do seem to repeat. Again, it will be stopped by us. Maybe. I hope I understand what you mean by that. Havertz is one player that is so hard to understand. There are times he is so good, but again, sometimes some days he's off. Even those days we think was he had a bad game. I think he contributed to the play. He's that tough player. So head to head, it's been 4 wins for us. I hope you guys can see it there. 4 wins for us, 1 draw, and then winning 1, which is the one probably you talked about that they beat us. It says, Kachila, please leave the predictions to us. Remember what happened. Oh my
Very
goodness!
true.
But I predicted we were going to win the last game, and we did win it. Let's see. Do you have any concerns looking at the insights here, Roger? Any of them doesn't? Yeah.
What about the game tonight? Yeah, I'm very apprehensive, Coach. They're a physical team. They have been inconsistent this year. If you look at their last 5 games, I think they've won twice, lost twice, and drawn 1. Something in around that realm. They're not consistent. So, but we're playing in their ground, and that's a tough place to play.
Yeah.
And we're not. Let's be honest. The last 5 games, yes, we've won them all, but we haven't played a good team. And I think this will be the best team we would have played in the last, actually under Potter's tenure so far. I think this is going to be the best team. AC Milan, Yes, when they played us at our place, they were missing 7 players, or 4 of
Hmm.
them starters, and then they were down to 10 men after so many minutes early in the
Hmm.
game. So that's not a true barometer, an indicator. This, assuming that there's no players sent off, will be a true test for us. And they're physical, and they know. And Potter alluded to this. He basically said what they do, they know what they do, and they don't. I don't think they offer too much variation what they do, but what they do, they know it very well. They're well executed, they're well drilled, they're a physical team. It's going to be hard, and that place, the crowd, it's intimidating. There are some London teams, venues that are
Yeah, and
very
by the way, it's
small.
easy to forget that's a London derby, actually.
Yeah, I'm telling. So my cousin, who's a huge Liverpool fan, I tell him you have 2 derbies a year. Teams that would be Man U, even though it's technically in another city, but they're so proximately close to each other. And you've got Everton, but London, we have I remember we played QPR a few years ago. They were getting relegated. They beat us. They played us like this is their FA Cup final. Do you understand?
Hmm.
We have a target on our backs because we're the most successful team in London, and they can say, yeah, we finished in the bottom half of the table. But guess what? We beat Chelsea, or we only drew with them. They didn't beat us. This is their bragging rights. This is a huge game for them, and this is going to be hard for us. I mean, who knows? We win 6-0 today after all I've said, but
Yep,
I
I
don't
hope
see
we'll
that
win.
happening.
Again, we will leave. We'll leave again. The predictions for the pregame show, because we'll have a pregame show also coming up. But go ahead with
Yeah,
what you were
but
saying, brother.
I'm not predicting. I'm just thinking this is going to be a really tough game for us. Don't look towards. And I hope we're not looking towards the United game. Like you look
Hmm.
on the schedule, and what's the old adage? One game at a time, and it's there for a reason. Because if you overlook your next opponent, because of the margins of winning in this league are so small, so slim, that
Hmm.
you could easily get beaten if you're not mentally and physically prepared 100%. If you just take 1 or 2% off, say, oh, we've got this game, you're going to lose invariably. So it's important.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much. Kachila, again, I'm not going to do that again. ZX seems to be, again, out of favor if Gallagher plays, again, at right wing. It's looking like that's the case, but I think he will get his chance because we're paying him and we're going to need him at this busy period. Actually, I think no writing off anybody, because if anything happens, that gives more players chance to get on the pitch. I think Ziyech is really leaving. He will leave again, but that doesn't mean that we don't need them. We need them now, and I think that opportunity will come. I hope it takes it. Pocket and Tone and then Buemo again is key. I hope we're able to do that. Again, big up Matthew Lee Benjamin. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for finding this show, finding the time to join the show, and more importantly, please do let us know that you're being well. That's important to us. But again, you're late, but lateness is greatness. And thank you for joining. I like the damn video. Yes, I miss hearing you say that again. 35 likes. You guys surprised me. I didn't know we'll get up to that much likes, given that again we split the show into 2 halves. And again, thank you so much for that. Big up to you two again here again. A long time indeed, brother. I hope you're well. Here we see again. Keeping Ziyech was a bit mistake. I don't think he was up to us. I think that his planned move or what again fell through. I think the issue was with the buying club, not really us. Again, was a mistake by Chelsea, honestly, because it makes no sense keeping a player who we are unsure about. Again, when there are so many players out there who would die to play for us, but like I said, it wasn't down to us that he stayed. Again, if only Kante could play, then it'd be easy to deal with the physicality of that midfield. It's a correct, again, well put there by Susan Gisson. Again, another brother here, Mario Minto. I think this is your first time here, Mario Minto. You're a bit late, but lateness is greatness. Thank you so much for finding the time to join the show. He says, big up, brother. Big up, everyone. Big up to you too, brother. Here's the thing I want to say about again, about Brentford is that, again, they not just about their physicality. They play high octane football, very direct. Before you snap your finger 3 times, boom, 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 boom. they are again in your box. So
They're a
we
throwback
must be,
team.
yeah. So we must again be 100% to be able to stop them.
And they have a good coach. Thomas Frank is a very good coach.
Yeah, he's not really well for them. Like the stream people again, always here first time commenting. Oh, okay, and that makes a huge difference. But thank you so much for commenting again. I hope you'd be around again during the pregame show. I start around 1 hour before the kickoff, where we analyze the lineup and say maybe again stick it up to Graham Potter if he selects the wrong. If we feel he selected the wrong players, it's always a good, enjoyable debate why a certain player starts over the other. So you wouldn't want to miss the pregame show. So thank you so much for joining the show, brother. I sincerely do appreciate that. Again, here we have Viola. What's up? Saying hello to Viola again. Good day. Mario smashed the like button. I'm sure he's done that already. And thank you so much for learning that you are always here. So Roger, on a final note, what type of game do you expect? I know I'd still ask you that question during the pregame show when we see the lineup.
Yeah, it's going to be physical. It's going to be demanding. That's why I believe we need fresh legs in the team. 3 or 4 changes. I expect it to be intimidating. That crowd is raucous. It's not an easy place to play. I'm really apprehensive, especially the fact that we have a big game after. We're playing a top 6 team, one of our biggest rivals. So I just hope that Potter has them psychologically invested in this game. I expect it to be very physical.
Yeah, and given again, we have to say this anyway. Given the physicality again to the approach, and again how it doesn't make sense to play these two together.
Which two?
Jorginho and Kovacic. So
yeah,
but
you would think we would have Ruben there. Seriously.
Yeah, but again, it's the chat. They just would take the time to analyze and again and say, okay, this is the player I would think will most likely start, and then we'll put up a poll and boom, they change everything. But yeah, again, I'd be surprised if these two start. I think it's going to be a mixture of Jorginho again, and what's his name, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, because he can deal with the physical aspect of the game quite well than most of his teammates will. And then if Zakaria comes in, fine, but I doubt that will happen. So with that, again, Roger, your final thoughts. Are you done? Again, we should call it a day.
I think we should call it a day. I think we've covered virtually everything. I honestly, I'm dying to know what formation he's going to use. I'm perplexed. I have no idea.
Yeah, maybe that's that delicious 4-2-3-1. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, it did look sexy, didn't it, when we played it?
Yes, it was delicious to watch, really. Again, thank you to everybody in the chat. I cannot thank you guys enough. We've come to the end of the show. Again, thank you, Mario. Again, as he says, smash it. And thank you so much, brother, for always being here, but the first time commenting. Congratulations. Again, you're part of the community now. We know you. Again, thank you, Mario. Again, because I was sure, again, if you made even a single comment before, I think I'll be able to remember you because I read nearly everything in the chat. So thank you, brother. I appreciate all the support. I cannot thank you enough. Thank you to Jumpboard Entertainment. Thank you to Liam Lane. Thank you to the Queen of the House, Just Viola. Thank you to Matthew Lynn Benjamin for joining us today. I understand bills don't pay themselves and we're all busy. Thank you, Susan Gissen. Thank you to everyone else who's been in the chat. Getonga David. I cannot, again, mention everybody's name. Apologies if I missed your name. Up the Chelsea. Yep, again, roll on this evening and up the Chelsea. See you guys during the pregame show. I cannot thank you guys enough. It's been a brilliant show. Thank you, Roger, for staying with me. Again, always nice to have you on the panel. I enjoy listening to you talk football, and I'm sure those in the chat do the same too. So thank you guys. See you guys next time, and cheers.